Okay, everybody, here is another bonus episode to celebrate the 250th anniversary of America. This is our classic review of 1990's Captain America. Hope you enjoy. You're tuned into All Too Real 2. Be sure to subscribe, download, share the show with a friend, and stop by alltooreal2.com for our social links, Patreon, and TeePublic store info.
Hi, I'm Chris.
And I'm Jeremy.
And I'm Fergal.
And we're from Movie Smash.
Comic book movies are having a golden age right now with the MCU.
Movies based on comics aren't necessarily a new thing, but they're a big thing.
Join us every other Tuesday on Movie Smash.
We explore these movies and find some hidden gems.
Every other week, we revisit some of the best.
And some of the worst movies based on comics or graphic novels.
Was Green Lantern as bad as you remember?
Heck no!
Is Time Cop the most accurate time travel movie ever created?
Absolutely.
Was Mystery Men way ahead of its time?
Should they be revisited? Should they be forgotten?
Join us on Movie Smash and find out. Listen wherever you find your fine podcasts.
Entering the world of Crisis on Infinite Films, brought to you by All Too Real 2 Podcast.
Okay, everybody, welcome to the latest episode of All Too Real 2. My name is Michael E. Cullen II, and with me, as always, is that star-spangled buddy of mine.
Sesame, leave Bernie alone. America Encarta.
America, fuck yeah.
America, yeah. Books suck.
Yes.
Beef jerk all the way.
Do you remember America?
The movie?
No, just the country.
Or the band. Oh, yeah. No, kind of. Yeah, a little bit. I remember there was a gas station called America or something. And that was like My America was the gas station. And once that gas station went under, what's that?
Just the gas station?
It was a gas station called America. Or was it? It was like
and that
76 America.
But that
I don't
was,
remember what it's called.
That was your whole country?
Well, that was like pretty much like the manifestation of what America's supposed to be, is a gas station. And so, and then when the gas stations went under and the gas costed more, you would know that the sitting U.S. president has nothing to do with the price of gas and oil. And then when it started getting higher is when America became no more.
Yes. And currently we are under the rule of Fuhrer Trump. And this should coincide with the release of the Marvel film Captain America Brave New World. So yes.
Wow.
Yes. So today, folks, we are venturing into the world of Marvel before the MCU and covering what I will call the most patriotic movie ever made that wasn't shot primarily in the United States. It was pretty much all shot in Yugoslavia. But anyways,
wow.
It is a film called Captain America. 1990 is when it was made, or 89, 90 was when it was made. It was directed by Albert Payan, written by Stephen Tolkien, wrote the screenplay based on characters created by Joe Simon and Jack Kirby. The film stars Matt Salinger, aka the son of J.D. Salinger, as Steve Rogers, Ronny Cox as President Tom Kimball, Ned Beatty as Sam Kowalitz, Darren McGavin as General Fleming, Michael Nuri as Lieutenant Colonel Lewis, Scott Paulin as the Red Skull, who also goes by what the heck is his name? He's he was also, his last name is DeSantis, which I just find hilarious.
Wow.
In this version of the character. Kim Gillingham as Bernice Stewart and Sharon, her daughter. She played both of them.
She played both characters? Oh, wow.
Yeah. Melinda Dillon. So Melinda Dillon as Mrs. Rogers. So we have both the old man and the mom from A Christmas Story in this movie.
That's awesome.
Yeah. We've got Bill Mummy as a young General Fleming, Francesca Neri as Valentina DeSantis, the daughter of the Red Skull, among other people. Yes.
Other people, just like, regular people, like, who cares, type.
These are the main actors in the movie, so
they're not really important. They're not important, no.
No, they are.
The British boy.
There's no small part, only small people.
Yeah, okay. I guess.
I think. And you know what? No, doesn't matter. Nothing matters in the world, because we are all equal in the eyes of the law, in the eyes of God, in the eyes of the economy.
Well, not the law. But...
Oh, wait. I'm joking.
Not the law.
We are not. We're not all equal in the eyes of the law or the economy or the fascism. And anyways, so yeah, speaking of, fascism.
Yeah, that's a good segue.
So the plot of this movie, according to the Internet Movie Database, is frozen in ice for decades. Captain America is freed to battle against arch criminal the Red Skull.
So he's got a prominent role in this movie, unlike the other Captain Americas, where he was kind of
the Red Skull.
Well, no, I guess the first one. He was a big.
First one, the Red Skull was pretty popular. Then he didn't come back until. Was it Endgame or Infinity War or something?
Yeah, I didn't understand why. Whatever. I'm not going to get into that because that would just be a whole other philosophical question.
And he was voiced by a different actor and played by a different actor in that movie too. So, sound alike. So, yeah. So, a little background on this movie. It's a 1990 American superhero film based on the Marvel comic superhero of the same name. It takes several liberties with the comic storyline. It does feature, however, Steve Rogers becoming Captain America during World War II to battle Red Skull, being frozen in ice, and subsequently being revived in the present day. Or actually, in the movie, they state that it's 1993, so it's like 3 years in the future when the movie came.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, it received a theatrical release internationally. It was only released direct to video in the United States. It's received generally unfavorable reviews from critics, though it has since developed a cult following. So I'm going to go over some of the history here before we get into the plot, if that's cool with you. So Captain America had a long, tumultuous production history. The film rights were originally purchased by Universal Pictures, who planned a theatrical feature-length film starring Jeff Bridges as Captain America, who would later go on to play the villain in Iron Man. And Peter Fonda as Red Skull, who would later go on to play the villain in Ghost Rider. The writer later revealed that the script and pieces of the concept art also included Falcon, Helmut Zemo, and Bucky Barnes, all characters that are not in this version. The rights were then sold to the Cannon Group, who we've covered a couple films from in the past. Most notably, most recently, The Apple. Menachem Golan and Yoram Goldblatt are the people that created that company. They initially had Michael Winner, the director of Death Wish 1 through 3, attached to direct it at over there, but then things fell through on that one. I'm not going to get into too much there, but they were originally had Michael Dudikoff set to play the title character, and Steve James would portray Sam Wilson, aka the Falcon. Then Golan left Canon and started his own company. He was given control of this company called 21st Century Film Corporation, which ended up producing this film. He had worked previously with this director Albert Payan, and they brought in Tolkien to write a script that had originally started at Canon, and basically they brought it in there. Casting for this was, they had considered Dolph Lundgren and Arnold Schwarzenegger for Captain America, both foreign guys, by the way. Val Kilmer was offered the part but turned it down to work on The Doors instead.
Good. That was a good choice.
Probably a good choice. He later went on to play Dolph Lundgren later went on to play the Punisher in a movie I hope to cover in a future episode. Arnold Schwarzenegger went on to play Mr. Freeze. Val Kilmer went on to play Batman. So they all got their superhero things. Payan originally wanted different actors to play Rogers and Captain America, one before he was a super soldier and then one after. He wanted Matt Salinger to play the pre-super soldier version, and then football player and later commentator Howie Long to play the post super soldier Captain America.
Wow.
Yeah. He also wanted him to use a tactical black suit, which was in the comics, but Marvel rejected all of these things and said they couldn't do it. So, Stan Lee had filmed a cameo for this movie that was ultimately cut. But yeah, basically that gives you kind of the history here. There was like a major basically 21st century films went under while they were trying to get the movie in theaters and stuff. So it never made it to theaters in the United States. And then it wasn't really released on video until like 2 years later. So in the summer of 92, it was like on cable television and then on VHS.
Wow.
So yeah, that's the history behind this masterpiece.
Yeah.
Also, there is rumors that it's supposed to be coming out soon. Albert Payan had carried with him his whole life film reels of his cut of the film.
Wow.
He had a director's cut of the film that he gave to the studio, and then they took it and they re-edited everything.
Oh, okay.
So he passed away. He had multiple sclerosis, I believe, and like dementia, and ended up dying at the age of 69. But his widow still has the footage, and it's been digitized and stuff, and they're hoping to maybe someday release it on DVD or Blu-ray, which would be cool. His version, I watched a video where they showed like clips from it, and his cut is a lot different. It would all the stuff that happened in the past was interspliced with stuff during the present, and it had a different tone to it, and it didn't have a lot of cheesy pop music in it like this one does. Yeah. So anyways, let's get to the plot here, or actually let's get to your reaction. What's your initial reaction to the 1990 Captain America?
It was I was interested in it. It was very much more dark than the current Captain America films, like Gary. I wasn't expecting that kind of feel for it, but I liked it. I kind of like older movies now without like too many like special effects, or I guess digitals. I kind of like the practical effects of older movies. That kind of, I don't know, it feels more real, I guess, some way. And
yeah, it had a $3 million budget, so
that's cheap. I mean,
yeah, even for 1990, that's cheap.
Yeah.
So I mean, I liked it to a point, but I do see how people hate it, and I do have a lot of issues with it. But I think if given his way, I think Albert Payan could have made a great movie with bigger budget and stuff like that. It probably would have been a lot better, because they said that basically what was shot was not what the script was, and even who was it? I think it was Ronny Cox or something said that it was the best script he ever read. So he was the one that played the president.
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
So, and also too, like you said, that the original plan was to like intersplice the past and the future, so the pacing would have been better.
Yeah,
because the pacing is one of the weird things about this movie. But now that you mention, like, that wasn't the plan, and so it wouldn't have been like so weird, And but speaking of, because you mentioned Yugoslavia, and that's where they filmed most of the films. So you could say that Marvel almost has a like weird way of causing civil wars, because so the Yugoslavia Civil War broke out like a year after this, and Captain America is filmed in there, and then in Avengers Rise of Ultron, he ends up destroying the entire city of Sokovia, which is supposed to be like a Slavic type of country. That so if anything, so Marvel caused a real civil war in actual life, and then destroyed a Slavic country in a fictional universe. So good job on that one, Marvel. You just like destroying an entire country. But hey, it's whatever, patriotism, right? And then speaking of the Apple, because you mentioned canon film, I could say, or you could say, that the Red Skull knows how to be a master.
I don't know. I mean, he does know how to be a master. He doesn't know how to really be a villain himself, because he's making his daughter do all his dirty work. So what goes down in Captain America Town?
Captain America Town. Well, so we kind of begin. There's this it's like in Italy. It's like 1930s, I think. And there's this kid. He's playing like a concert to like his family and like friends, like in their own house. Yeah. He's playing some really complex piano beats and
child prodigy. Oh, and his character's name is Tadzio DeSantis.
Yeah, there you go, DeSantis.
Yeah, which before we get too far, I just want to point out the fact that in the comics, Red Skull is Johann Schmidt. He's German and not Italian. So yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, both fascists, so I guess, and
I just don't know why they changed it, but still.
Yeah, I don't know either. Maybe
There
just
was
because they
probably
thought it
some
would be
political reasoning behind it. Like maybe they had like money from Germany into the film or something. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. Like, hey, make the villain from a different country. we'll loan you some money as long as the villain is not.
It's okay to make him,
from our.
Make him a Nazi, but don't make him from Germany.
So yeah, make him like an Italian Nazi. Make him a Mussolini fan, not a Hitler fan.
Yeah,
and it kind of reminds me of what was it? I think the new version of Red Dawn. Well, not new. It came out like 10 years ago, but like. I read that China was supposed to be the original enemy, but then like China complained, so like North Korea then became the enemy or something like that.
They weren't going to show the movie in China if they were the villains for obvious reasons, and that's a large country for our films. Like they give a lot of money to American films, so and that was another movie that was like kind of in development and post development hell forever. So
yeah, that was I watched that was a weird version of Red Dawn. I didn't like it that much. But
because they had to digitally. And so it's on that one. If we ever cover it, I'll get more into it. But they had to digitally replace the patches on all the uniforms and stuff.
Wow, that's crazy. The original one is good though. I like the original one a lot better. It had depth to it, and because I like the original one because like I like how like one of the enemies, because I think in that one it was like El Salvador was the country that was Russia was
Russia,
but then they hired people from El Salvador, I think too. But like one of the guys in that movie was kind of like very like just austere and was just kind of like, hey, I was on the other side of this kind of conflict in my country, so I kind of know like what's going to happen, type of thing. Like you're going to have people rising up and they're like, oh, nobody will rise up against him. He's like, no, I know because I was one of the people who rose up. Like, like I know what's going to happen. He kind of like had like a almost begrudging back for Patrick Swayze's character and his. Anyway, I don't want to get too much in that. But like, I like that movie a lot. But in this movie about fascism, I guess in that one it was more like combat. Like, this Italian kid, he's a prodigy. He's playing this really beautiful piece on his piano to his family and their friends, and then the government comes and takes him away, and they're doing like this experiment on him. There's this Italian doctor who was like, I guess maybe the one who created this thing, but she realized that they were gonna like basically torture the kid, into like they're basically to make like their own super soldier, like an Italian version of that. But at the same time, when America was going to make there, but instead they took a little kid.
America wasn't going to make one yet. What happens is she objects to the way that they're doing it to the boy, and she defects to the United States and brings her procedure with her.
Oh, right. Yeah, because she escaped because they tried to kill her, and she escaped. And so like the reason why it's called the Red Skull is I think it like burned skin off basically. And so he had nothing but just like bloody skin, which I don't even think that would anatomically correct, but whatever.
I mean it does, like basically like in the comic books it makes sense, but here I don't know.
Yeah, and so this like drives him crazy, so he ends up becoming a villain because of all the brainwashing and the trauma that they gave him, because he's just like a nice kid before, it's just playing piano and stuff, and he like you said, he becomes like this international crime boss, always kind of lurking in the shadows, like you said, why his daughter pretty much do all of his dirty work for him. And so like so then America
it's like 7 years later in America, the government finds a volunteer to be their super soldier, their first one. They were planning to make a bunch of super soldiers. I mean, this is similar to the comic books, except for they have him living in California instead of New York, like in the comic books. But
I don't know why that was, but whatever.
Probably because they could film there or something. I don't know.
Maybe, yeah. And so like it's interesting because like the Italian version, they pluck like a prodigy to be their super soldier, but when it comes to Steve Rogers, he's like a survivor of polio, and so he doesn't like walk so well. And so that was kind of like, I think, a juxtaposition of like showing like the two countries, like the America, of course, took the poor rapscallion and turned him into something better, whereas the evil Italians,
So I want to tell something to our audience. Okay, kids, here's a story. Sure. Polio was this bad thing that a lot of people like had, including like Franklin Delano Roosevelt, and we came up with a vaccine for it. And there are people in the world right now, namely RFK Jr., who want to basically get rid of that vaccine. And you know what? We might have it again.
That's a bad thing, because some people had to live in what they literally call an iron lung, and they just stay. They can't move. They can't do anything. All they could do is lay down and I guess occasionally be turned over so they don't get bed sores.
And
so imagine the life. Yeah.
An iron lung shouldn't be something that you have to live in. It should only be like a really cool name for like a metal band or something.
Yeah, the iron lung. Yeah. And so polio's bad actually, and vaccines to like prevent polio are actually good, because that way you could like breathe correctly and like not be like completely disabled. And I mean, like I think that's pretty awesome personally. Maybe you'll have different ideas, but like I personally think not being 100% disabled is actually a good thing, because you can like walk around, you can breathe right, you can enjoy life, the way life was meant to be enjoyed by nature, that kind of stuff. But like some people have different opinions. So some people are like, no, it's actually not good. You should have those problems. That's actually awesome. By the way, you should drink raw milk while you're living in the iron lung, and just like have a great life doing those two things. Because hey, vaccines are bad. They're spooky. We don't understand the science behind them, except for the people who actually make them, who do know the science behind them, because that's what they studied for like decades, and that's their job now. And so they know what they're doing because that's their job. And usually people know what they're doing at their job because that's their job, and they get paid to do those things.
And who knows, maybe they'll put some super soldier serum in there too, and you can become like really, really strong and stuff.
Yeah. So polio was bad actually, and I know because we need to tell our younger audience, if we have some, because they might not actually know, might not have parents that were at least around when it happened, like
or grandparents or whatever. Because like I mean, I know people that of my grandfather's generation that died of polio and stuff. So yeah, good times.
No, and like this, like seriously, like kind of like how the fear that people had about like being infected by COVID, polio was way worse. Like I mean, like the terror. Like for example, one of my mom's neighbors who lived in a house that someone else lives now. Another that kid had polio, and my mom and some of her cousins didn't know at the time, and so they went to visit, to hang out, at the person's house to visit them, because they didn't know like what polio actually was. Like they didn't know it was like dangerous or whatever. And so like when they went back home, like my grandma was practically having like a panic attack, hoping that they didn't catch the polio. Like that's how severe it was. So now when you have pieces of shit like Robert Kennedy Jr. who eat bear meat, roadkill, are like, no, drink the raw milk and don't get your vaccine. Anyway, I don't mean to get political, but so anyway, Steve Rogers had polio. Well, I hate now that medicine is political. Like, I don't mean to get all political, like talking about medicine that works. That's how far we've gotten. Like,
I'm looking at the Wikipedia page for polio and looking at some of these pictures of people with polio, and oh my god, what it does!
It's horrible.
Bones and other things. It's like, okay, come on.
It's not good. The other thing too is my dad's uncle. He didn't get polio. He had the really bad disease where your muscles tense up and you can't even lay down straight. You're like basically bent over. Like, I don't know what that's called, but like it's basically like you're doing like a somersault, but like you just stay in that position forever. Like you cannot lay down flat on your back. And he had that. And then like my grandfather like wouldn't even let him like visit him in the hospital room, because he didn't want him to see like that weird contortions of how nasty that would be. And that also has a vaccine, mind you. But hey, let's just bring back all of these terrible conditions, because
mumps and measles and rubella, everything. Let's just bring it all back.
Why not? Let's get vintage, man. Like, let's get vintage rubella. That's a good band name, vintage rubella. I'm gonna write that down later.
Yes.
So anyway, sorry, but
so
yeah, go ahead.
Steve volunteers for the for this procedure, and it basically cures his ailments and gives him super strength and endurance. But before more of the super soldiers can be created, Vasali, she's the doctor who created this stuff. She is murdered by a Nazi spy working with Lieutenant Fleming. So
no,
yeah, and then we cut to the future, or not the future, but no, I mean the present. I'm sorry, in the war, in the president of the war at the time. Vasali, after she's murdered, then we cut to DeSantis as an adult.
Yeah.
Good old Ron.
Yep.
Oh wait, no.
Meatball Ron. Hey, he actually does look like a meatball. No, it's less meat. Sorry. It's meat. Sorry.
Meatball covered in marinara. But yeah.
Wow.
He's
God.
red and scarred. He's got like red scarred skin, looks like a red skull sort of, but not really. It's just basically like red makeup on the guy's face and shit. But
yeah, I mean, that's what it looks like.
Yeah. He basically has like similar, powers as Steve does. And he's got this big ballistic missile that he wants to strike to the White House.
Yeah, I remember this.
So he ends up fighting Steve in like one of the most boring action scenes ever. And
Yep, yeah, pretty bad.
So he basically ends up tying Steve to the thing to the missile, and he's going to send Steve to the White House too. There's a lot of better ways to get to the White House. I'm just telling you, like fraud and corruption. And anyway, so
also too, I like the fact that this is supposed to like send a message, but I'm pretty sure if it gets blown up, there's like nothing gonna be left to Steve anyway. So it's like, how would that even send the message? Like
all of Washington D.C. is just gone. I mean, I guess
but Steve is still alive.
Yeah,
because Steve can still die. He's a super soldier, yes, but he's not invincible. So like,
so anyway, yeah, like while so it's being sent there, but before it's sent there, Steve tries to take Red Skull with him.
Oh yeah, that's right. He holds onto his
and
then like he has to cut his hand off.
He has to cut his hand off so he doesn't get sent to Washington D.C. I mean, I wish more people would do that. Wait, sorry.
Just whoa. Well, I guess a piece of the Red Skull also made it across the land too.
Yeah.
Because Steve would hold on to his hand at the time.
Yes.
What a fucking weird scene, man.
I know.
It was just bizarre.
So then we cut to this scene with this kid who's in Washington D.C. in like a hotel or something with his parents, and he's all excited and he's looking out the window and his mom's telling him to go to bed, and he's like saying, "I want to be president one day," like we all do when we're disillusioned with the world and we don't know much as a kid. Wait, sorry.
We can change the world. Yeah, well, I'm gonna shake things up. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
And this is back when you could become president without being a corrupt piece of shit, probably too. Anyways, yeah.
Look what happened with JFK. JFK tried to shake shit up, and then he got assassinated a year later. So anyway,
it's all Red Skull's fault. Anyway, so the kid sneaks out of his hotel. He's got a camera and he's got like a decoder badge with him that his buddy lent him. Comes kind of in play.
Yeah.
And he's out there taking pictures of the White House in the middle of the night like most kids do. Wait.
right. Exactly.
Yes. Oh, bad parenting. Anyway,
6-year-old kids middle of the night.
Yes.
By himself. No one's going to kidnap him, of course not.
No. Speaking of which, I will tell you little side story here, something that just happened to me recently. I think I told you about it. But the other day, I was lending one of my TVs to my dad because his broke, and he came over and we put the TV in the back seat of his car and everything, and then we went over to his place, set it up, and I played with the dog over there, hung out with my nephew who lives with him for a little bit, and everything. It was a good little day. This was all before I'm going to work at 5:00. This was probably around 3 or so that we did this. And so then I go to the store to pick up some cheese. I needed cheese. It's just whatever. Yeah. So then we decided to come back to my place so I can throw it in my fridge before I go to work. Luckily we did, because when I got back, my door was wide open and not a thing was stolen. Nothing. My TV, my computer, all of my movies, my film equipment, everything was still here. So
I guess sometimes you can trust your neighbors to do the right. So did you leave it open or someone else opened it?
I left it open.
You just forgot to close it? Oh, man.
I forgot to close it when I brought the TV out.
Oh man. Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that could happen when you're just focused on something else, and then because there was I was worried about some stuff was falling off. I had I'm weird, but I have a little these small little action figures all like industrial taped to the top of my TV. That's cool.
And so they were falling off, and I was worried about them, so I was picking them up, and I didn't pay attention to my door. So I'm either getting old or senile or something. I don't know what's going on. But yeah,
Sometimes you just, I mean, God, my friend Sean used to do it all the time.
yeah.
He would like stay at night. He'd go outside in the morning just to like, get in the fresh air or whatever. And then he'd just leave the door open. My dogs would get loose all the time. It happened like 4 different times.
And then you'd find
Like Sean.
you'd find him in front of the White House taking pictures, right?
Yeah, I think. Well, we actually did go in front of the White House at one time, yes. But that was a different story. That was when we were 13. But we did, yeah, we did actually go out in front of the White. I think we did take pictures, but then we were told we couldn't. But anyway,
You should be able to take them in front of the White House as long as you're not. Yeah. Anyways, yeah.
I don't know, that was when Bill Clinton was president too. I don't know, whatever. And I'm kind of older too, and so yeah, better days, better times.
So anyways, this little boy here is taking these pictures. He sees this like thing flying in the air, which happens to be that missile with
Right, that makes sense.
with Captain America aboard. And
Yeah,
Captain America,
see him somehow.
yeah, and he sees him and somehow is able to get a decent picture of him with his camera that doesn't have a zoom lens. But
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's just a regular camera from like the 1950s or 40s.
Yeah. and so he gets a picture of him on the missile, and he notices him like kicking the tail of the missile so it doesn't hit the White House, and it goes off course, and then it lands in somewhere in Alaska. That's literally what it said on the screen.
So how does it? So if he's close enough that he can see him kicking one of the things,
Yeah.
and somehow it goes all the way to Alaska from there, like what? Like
It goes.
I don't understand. I mean, I can understand like a few miles off,
Yeah.
maybe even like 50, but like from Washington D.C. all the way to
I know.
okay, sure.
And it wasn't like it hit like a specific city in Alaska. It hit somewhere in Alaska. Unless there's a city in
It's like this is somewhere. They couldn't even say like somewhere in Alaska, 1994 or whatever.
Yeah. So yeah,
Okay.
it's in Alaska, and then we go through these like news story things flying on the screen about the little boy growing up. His name is Tom Kimball, and we see news events that happen like like JFK and Martin Luther King being killed and all these things, and we see the rise of Tom Kimball into becoming the president of the United States. And so he's
Right. And that's
elected
the one that took the picture though.
yeah, he's elected president in 1992. Yes.
Yeah. And he's still best friends with the guy who took the picture because they made some weird pact, I guess, that if they ever saw Captain America again, they would like do something. I don't know exactly what they would do.
No, the one who took the picture is the president. He had
okay.
He had his buddy. We see his buddy actually. I forgot. Yeah, after it happens, he meets up with his buddy in his bedroom or something, and they're showing him the picture, and he believes him and everything. And
Right.
And I thought it was funny too that his buddy has like this decoder thing, and he kind of looks like Ralphie from Christmas Story, and both the mom and dad from A Christmas Story are in the movie. So yeah, it's interesting. But
it is interesting.
Yeah.
Place like around the same time too, and he's like a journalist. Even back then, he was writing stories, right? So he's like they're like best buds still, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. So in present day, he's this, and we find after he's elected president, he's got this like. He's got this push because back in the 80s and 90s, the only thing anybody cared about was the environment, unlike today.
Right. Yeah. The ozone layer was a big one.
Or should I say back then people pretended to care about the environment outwardly more than they do today. And the caring for show sort of thing never did anything. We made basically the only thing that we did back then was make a fucking cartoon called Captain Planet. So
yes, but at least they pretended. Now they don't even do that. So yeah. Now they're like, ew, fuck the environment. Let's pollute as much as possible because I want to stick it to the libs.
Climate change doesn't exist.
Sorry, go.
Yes. So we've got Captain America waking up in Alaska in modern days.
So 50 years later almost.
Yeah.
And not one person in 50 years managed to ever just trip on it or any, it's interesting. No, it's 50 years just completely left alone.
And
that's interesting.
And some like scientists find it in the middle of nowhere. You don't know what it is at first. So, and then he
metal detector stuff that no one's ever found when they're doing a little metal detectors thing. Just just completely left alone. No one ever found it for 50. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
Yes, and so he unthaws basically and runs away like he's Bigfoot or something. And yeah. Then what happens here?
The journalist dude calls up the president because apparently he could just like call him like I know they're best friends still, but at the same time it's like, can you just call him up? Like,
well, I'm sure. I mean, like Donald Trump's childhood friend that he probably killed could have called him up if you wanted to.
That's true. Or what was his name? Roger Stone. I guess you're right. Yeah, they could text each other.
Elon Musk doesn't have to call him because he's like basically attached to his ass. So yeah. Anyway, so
I guess it does make sense that you could call your best bud. But at that point, it's actually do something good, not do something evil. So I guess that's cool. But like anyway, so he calls him up. He's like, dude, it's happened. Captain America's back, or whoever that guy is, or whatever. They're like, what? And he's like, yeah, it's pretty awesome. And so, journalist dude, he picks him up, and Captain America's immediately suspicious of him because, like, the car is Japanese made, and all these, like, the something's Japanese, but the car is German. He's like, German, Japan, what? You know, they wouldn't. So already he's like super racist. So like that's cool to start off with. He's like, fuck the Japanese.
I watched a sketch that somebody had put together, I don't know, on YouTube the other day about Captain America, and it was like him waking up and being completely racist. Like,
well, no, seriously,
like there's a general, a general in the room who's black, and he's like, boy, can you get me some coffee? You know, stuff like that.
Oh my god! I mean, I like the fact that they chose like Steve Rogers was just like a decent person, like no matter what age she was born in. So like I did like that they brought that character, like, you know, he's adjusting and stuff, you know, he's not used to everything, but like he's still like a nice guy, you know, type of thing. But yeah, it'd be hilarious if it was like a race. But no, so his cars is German. I think something was Japanese, the CD player, I don't remember what it was. Something was Japanese, and he's kind of like, you know, he's suspicious, you know, he's wondering if this guy's like a spy, you know, he doesn't know anything about him, just brained him up, you know, as like someone was trying to attack him, I think. Didn't someone try to shoot him? Was that what's going on?
Yeah, because basically what's going on is we have Red Skull is now going by his birth name, and he's like a big like global, he's like the leader of a global shadow organization or something, and that is headed, that is also part that General Fleming, who we saw earlier on, is now part of, and now played by the dad from Christmas Story as an adult. And he's meeting with Red Skull and stuff, but you know, he's like the head of the DOD or something, you know. So he's like also like he's like a double, you know, a spy.
Yeah, he's working for or on behalf of Red Skull, or maybe just opportunist, because like he didn't like the fact that the president wanted to do like environmental shit. So I guess even back then they were like, no, fuck the environment, you know. And so
and he's probably
like, hey, you know,
still more qualified than Pete Hegseth. So but
yeah. I mean, I guess you're correct. He doesn't have a bunch of like white nationalist tattoos on all over his body. It washes his hands. I assume most people do wash their clothes. I guess there is an assumption to it, but you know, I'm just saying, you know, we got an interesting clown car going on. I almost whatever. I'm not gonna get into it, but like I was gonna say, almost like
the fact that they want the guy that can't even defend germs on his hand to defend the country.
Got, you know, a member of a Hindu cult. Now also in charge of like national security. So we're in an interesting era in our country's history. I kind of wish we had like our own Captain America, you know, who could help us from corruption, be like a good patriot, like Steve is supposed to. Well, what I like about Steve,
we do have that real American hero, Hulk Hogan. He can help us out, right?
He can, if he can tear his shirt off, because he's been having trouble lately doing that. Being like in his mid-70s at this point. But anyway, so and still probably doing steroids. But anyway, which is not good for your health. And some got DUI last year.
And being racist and, you know, all that other stuff too. But anyways, that's okay.
Like screwing over the other wrestlers who weren't as popular as he was and didn't have rights and, you know, benefits.
I'm pretty sure that if we did really have a Captain America, just like come out of nowhere, he would be considered woke or whatever. And
that's what I was getting. That's what I was getting at.
In a bad way. Yeah.
No, that's what I was getting at. Is that like, so what I like about Steve is that he represents like what you would call like a sane patriot. Like, hey, I love my country, and I got culture in here, and this is my home, and like maybe you might root like like a team sports where you're just like, aha, we're gonna beat Canada, but we're gonna have a beer afterwards, like Cenk Uygur does, but only with Nazis. But like and so, but like not like, yeah, let's go annex Canada and make them part of our country, make them a huge state, and like while we're at it, let's go fuck Greenland over and like just like detach it from the latest. Have it like swimming around the ocean. Maybe we could then like attach it to the Panama Canal and then make that like the Panama Canal goes into Greenland, so we could just drive through it. Because hey, Jimmy Carter gave it away for $1, which is the worst thing anyone's ever done in the world. Even though, anyway, I'm sorry, it's going up on it. But I'm saying, if we had a Captain America, he would be a good guy like Steve Rogers.
Yes.
He wouldn't he'd be a patriot, not a nationalist. They're different. Not anymore. But I guess in theory there's, but we don't have that. Okay. Or world.
Anyways,
because the whole world's becoming
in the movie, he's a good guy. So what happens in the movie?
Yes.
So basically, he ends up after he's gotten away from the people trying to kill him in Alaska.
Yep.
He basically he finds his way. He's looking. The only place he knows to go is to find his old wartime girlfriend Bernice, who is based on a character named Bernadette Rosenthal in the comics, who was like one of the girlfriends of Steve Rogers in the comic books.
He got 2 girlfriends. Oh wow.
Well, he's had several in the comic books. So.
Oh, it's like that scene from I Think You Should Leave where he wants 2 girlfriends.
No,
and he's like,
not like at the same time.
Not at the same time. Oh, okay.
Several.
Like, don't you understand?
Several girlfriends that the character has had over time.
Okay, all right. It wasn't like he's like, don't you understand, Birdie? 2 girlfriends, isn't that better? It's better, Anyway.
I haven't watched I Think You Should Leave, so I don't know. So,
oh god, it's so good. It's such a good show.
I don't have Netflix, so I can't watch it. So
I thought you said that you got it from, was it your nieces or not anymore? Or?
No, I had HBO Max from her. But anyway, so the
oh, okay, gotcha. All right,
yeah. But now I have my own. Anyways,
okay,
so he the only place he knows to go is to go to Bernie's old house, and he still doesn't understand and believe that he's in 1993 or wherever, so
think about it. I mean, if you were in that situation, you might think people are just like trying to pull your leg or something, like it's a huge prank. Like, hey,
everything.
What the hell's going on?
But I'm sure everything on the highways from that he had to drive through Canada to the United States, because that's where the guy finds him, is in Canada. Yeah. You think that things would look different. And my thing is like, I guess it was easier to get over the border in Canada to the United States back then, but they don't show him going from, crossing into the United States. I think there would be some kind of issues, considering he probably doesn't have any kind of birth certificate or anything.
So he's illegally crossing the border. So Captain America is... He's we need to deport him now.
Yeah.
Along with the 20 well, of course, if Canada becomes a state, then it wouldn't be crossing the border because you just go into a different state. So anyway, that's one big state. Think about that.
I know.
That's like probably going to be the biggest state in the history of the world. I mean, okay, anyway, and I'm still just trying to envision how that would work. I mean, you got like California's pretty big state, Texas is pretty big, Alaska's pretty big. Then you got Canada, which is like 30 states combined or something like that.
Would they lose their free healthcare if they became the 51st?
They would. Oh, that's the thing. That's what they would, because I know I'm like going out tangent. Yes. Well, since we're talking about Captain America, it kind of does fit in a little bit, so it's not like totally off topic. But like, there's like people like the conservatives in Canada are so inspired by the conservatives of America that like sometimes their like their rhetoric like bleeds into like Canadian politics, when like they kind of forget that they're like actually like in Canada, or they're trying to run for a Canadian political office. Because I swear there was one guy, I can't find it. They might have scrubbed it from the internet, because I could have sworn I actually saw a guy who was like, the Liberal Party in Canada, they're trying to take away our freedom. They don't believe in the First Amendment. It's like, the First Amendment is part of the American Constitution. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Oh boy.
Yep, that's the world we live in now. So no.
So yeah, basically he shows up. So that news reporter guy, now being played by Ned Beatty, as an adult or whatever, shows up looking for Bernie, because he figures that, you know, that'll be where Steve's going to go, because he figures out that it's Steve Rogers somehow through notes and stuff he's taken. And he has this theory that we had told before that that this guy Red Skull was behind the killing of a bunch of different people, which we do find out is true in the one meeting we had, that, you know, he was responsible for the deaths of both Kennedys and Martin Luther King Jr. and stuff. So yeah. The other Robert Kennedy, he was responsible for that guy's death, not the one that wants to kill other people with polio. And good times.
No. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
America, fuck yeah. Anyway, so so he basically you know, he's there, and so Valentina, the daughter, figures out where they are too. So eventually, before that though happens, Steve, you know, catches up with Bernie and meets her daughter Sharon, who's loosely based on Sharon Carter from the comic books. They like transposed a lot of different things here in this movie. So basically Sharon helps through VHSs and different things, helps Steve figure out, you know, catch up on America and what's been happening over the last few decades. So they basically America. He remembers that there's a diary that Vasali had that would have, like, you know, the way to create more super soldiers or something. So some kind of stupid MacGuffin. And you got to have a stupid MacGuffin.
That's weird.
That's the name of my other band, Stupid MacGuffin. And
of course, I mean,
we just primarily play Christian rock on an accordion. It's weird,
like
but
it's some skillet, man. It's some skillet.
That's a story for another time, my friends. Another time.
I can't believe I used to love that band. I went to one of the... Okay, sorry, I'm going to go on another tangent. Sorry.
So,
no.
What ends up happening is that the president gets kidnapped.
Yes.
Bernie and Sam, the reporter, are both killed by Valentina's thugs. Valentina's thugs. They play.
That's a good band name too, Valentina.
They play rockabilly music on a harmonica. No.
Oh God, I hate harmonica.
Weird. I love a harmonica.
Oh God, yeah. I hate the sound of harmonica.
A good harmonica, like Bob Dylan or something. Anyway, so
Hey, I know it's weird. I know it's a weird. I don't understand it.
And I
don't know what it is.
So they find out that Kimball, the president, is kidnapped and everything, and they decide that they're going to go to Italy, to the home where the kid was taken that became Red Skull. And somehow the people living there now have this old tape recording of the murder. His family.
Yeah, right. How?
So they have like some scene where they end up finding the diary. The diary. Oh, I forgot that. The diary was in this like cavern, hiding underneath a diner in California. Now you have to enter through the girls' room for some reason, the women's restroom.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's right. But what I love about that is, like, all you had to do was just break open the wall and there's the lair. Like, nobody had, like, ever thought, like, oh, like, that's a great hiding spot. Just, like, a wall that you could bust through. Like, there's no, there's no, like, secret lair, like, where it's, like, impenetrable. No, you just break through a wall at the girls' room at the diner. And, like, the people who bought the diner, they never, like, usually when you buy a building,
you need to tell me they never did any kind of construction on this building.
Like, every room that's in the building, like, they inspect it. So how would they, that's what I'm saying. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, you don't think, like, after 50 years that, like, a building doesn't ever get, like, revamped, remodeled. I mean, usually you need to keep that stuff up, and it's not just gonna stay forever. But nope, it just stayed there, just like how nobody noticed
mythical town of somewhere.
In 50 years, somewhere in Alaska. At no point did anyone. Yeah,
in Alaska.
In somewhere.
So
that's what
anyways,
it was just called Somewhere. That was the name.
We have the bad guys trying to get the MacGuffin of the diary. We have this tape of DeSantis's family being killed. No. And so they go off to Italy, find all this shit, then Sharon gets herself kidnapped. And there's like this whole thing where the president basically breaks out of this jail cell because he's smart and stuff. Twice in this movie, by the way. Steve Rogers steals a car. First he stole Sam's car and then he steals the car from Sharon in Italy. Both times by pretending that he's going to get sick on the side of the road.
Yeah. So he's a deceiver. He's a thief. He crossed the border illegally. They're not sending their best. America's not sending.
The Star-Spangled Man has a Star-Spangled Plan. Anyway, so
I'm sure some of the superheroes are good people, though.
That's from the song in the MCU.
God, that's terrible.
Star-Spangled Man with a plan.
Oh my God.
So anyways.
Oh my God, it's so.
Captain America rescues the president, and the two of them are working together like they're buddies. And he realizes, oh wait, you're that little kid that took a picture of me when I was on. Because the fuck.
Yeah.
He remembered him. He's like, so you were the little kid.
It's like, wait, so he was looking at him when he took the picture? Wait.
That was actual dialogue in the movie.
Wait, so they were looking at each other? So I still can't get over the fact that he was close enough that the kid without the zoom lens could get a picture of its face and its features. And then Captain America apparently locked eyes with him as well. And somehow from being that close to the White House, he was able to divert the missile all the way to Alaska. I don't understand. So did he have the missile shoot up then and then let it glide down
to north and then the opposite side of the continent too? So it's just
I don't understand it. I don't understand, because usually two missiles have only a certain amount, it's only supposed to go to so how did the missile have enough fuel to then get to Alaska?
I mean, I can understand because DC's near Virginia and Maryland and stuff. I can understand it maybe diverting to I don't know, Pennsylvania or something, but not to Alaska. I don't know.
2 miles out, yeah, I know, whatever. And I wonder if he was close the whole time and everybody was taking pictures of him and smiling at them like, hey.
So yeah,
I'm gonna save you all. Wow.
So anyways, they have this showdown at the end where for some reason there's a detonator that's going to blow up, I guess, all of Europe or something. But he's Captain America.
Okay, why
does he give a shit about Europe? I'm joking. Isn't there a Captain Europe that could take care of that shit?
There is. There's a Captain Britain. Yeah.
Is there a Captain Italy and a Captain? I know there's a Captain Britain, but I was like, there should be a Captain Italy, a Captain. I know there's there's a Canadian guy that's kind of similar to Captain America too. Anyway, so why hasn't the MCU introduced any of these characters? Why is it all so American centric?
Well, because the American State Department funds a lot of the Hollywood movies when it comes to warfare, and it's pretty much used as propaganda. Anyway,
so many people signed up to be pilots when Top Gun came out and everything. So yeah,
that's not being political. That's just factually true.
Anyways, he's got this detonator that he had hidden in a piano, and he's because he's a prodigy, and and so he's they play the tape of his family being murdered, and somehow it kind of changes his view a little bit, but he still wants to blow everything up, and he's and throughout the movie he keeps calling Steve brother because they were.
Yeah, I never, maybe just because they are both super soldiers, I guess, maybe.
Yeah, but it's he said brother more than fucking Hulk Hogan that we talked about earlier does in a wrestling match. So
brother, no one understands that he never really used his powers that much, did he? It was mainly his brain, which he was already smart to begin with, so what was the point of even becoming a super soldier when he has other people do all his work for him?
I don't know. It
doesn't make any sense.
It's so weird, but anyways, but basically what happens is Red Skull pulls out that remote trigger for a nuclear bomb, but Rogers distracts him with a recording of the DeSantis family murder. That's another good name for that. That's like an emo band, the DeSantis family murder.
You might get in trouble you might get arrested for making that band. Like, you're gonna get like people coming to your door like to have a talk with you. Like
My Bloody Valentine. In the opening act, just DeSantis families.
Are you some kind of extremist? We have to worry about you. It's like, no, I'm just in the punk band,
Yeah. Anyway,
wow.
So
you already have the Black Delilah murder, so
he uses a shield to send him off a cliff, and then Valentina prepares to kill Rogers, but she is hit by the returning shield, and he's like, heads up. Yeah. And then
and of course she gets her head cut off.
They save the president and arrest the kidnappers. Rogers and Sharon embrace as this is all happening, and we hear a news voiceover at the end announcing that Kimball's environmental pact is agreed upon by countries around the world. And now we're currently living in that world where everything is perfect, right?
Fiction is awesome. I love stories where, it's a great story. Like, oh, yes, the environmental thing really worked, guys. And then you wake up from your dream and you start coughing because you smell smoke and ashes. And you're like,
good times.
Good thing we triggered the liberals, though. Black Lung. Yep.
Yeah. So any thoughts about the rest of this movie or anything?
Well, I guess the little bit was just like, I keep getting hung up on what was the purpose of him becoming this. That's the other thing too. Was he ever made into a super soldier? I mean, did they ever use him for anything? Because all we hear about is him using his brain, which he's already super smart. So they didn't make him extra smart. So it's like, what was the point of even doing any of this? Like,
well, he did use the power. I mean, he was able to defeat Steve back during World War II there, and then tie him to the missile stuff.
No, I get that, but he wasn't doing like Captain America shit like around Europe that we know of. So what was the point of even doing any of this? Like,
he might have, and then he ended up using brain because I guess maybe his prowess gave him the power, and then he ended up, he had a brain too, so he was able to use both. I don't know, but we don't really see it in the movie because there's not much action in this movie. I mean,
that's the other thing. No, you're right. It's just the missile thing, and then like the fight at the end. That was pretty much it. Like,
there was a couple little, battles here and there with people, but that was about it. And like there was,
it's
car chases and stuff. But like literal slow car chases too. Like there was like they were on a bike at one point being chased by a car, and everything was going so slow that he had time to get off the bike and stop these two kids that were playing ball and move them out of the way so they didn't get hit by the car. Yeah.
Oh right. Yeah. There you go. See, Captain America is doing his duties, protecting the little man, and the big man alike. He's a patriot. He's a good patriot, though. He's not a nationalist, the good guy who believes in doing the right thing, and he gets rewarded at the end because as we all know in real life, doing the right thing, you get rewarded for it. Wait, what?
If you're a good person and you obey all the laws and you're a good, moral, upstanding person who loves your mom and dad and loves America and and what's good for all people, not just people that look like you, and then you'll be rewarded in the afterlife.
And you don't get rewarded for doing the bad thing. That never happens either.
In the afterlife, maybe.
Yep. Wait, what? In the afterlife, that's a good I gotta say that part. Not in this world ever. I was watching Game of Thrones lately. I've never watched it when it was on, so now I'm just going freezing. And there's this one scene where he's like this really evil king. He's like a boy, but he's really sadistic, and his name is Joffrey, not Jeffrey. Yeah. I'm not sure we think Joffrey, whatever. And there's a scheme where they're trying to get him to go into the middle of a battle, hoping that he'll get killed in the process. But one of the characters is like she's like supposed to become his queen, but he's like really distant to her. And so her handmaiden is like trying to console her, like, well, don't worry, maybe he won't come back from the battle. And she says, yes, he will. The bad ones always come back. I'm like, yep, there it is. Like, yep.
Well, it's just like in, there's like a line in Wicked.
I still want to see that movie real bad.
The best way to bring folks together is to give them a real enemy, a real good enemy. Yep. So yeah, that's what we got to do in the world.
Yep, there you go. So we need to have like a super enemy show up where like all the countries have to band together and then fight, and then the whole.
And we need aliens. We need evil aliens to invade us.
Evil, we do. We need something like
Yes.
that because it's true though. Because when you fight alongside someone or you're part of a cause alongside someone, like even if you have those differences, you share that bond now with that person. So that's an extra. So like then you're like less likely to want to like hurt or kill them afterwards because they're like, hey, I was like alongside this guy.
And honestly, that's the way to power on the conservative side, especially, is to create an enemy.
Yeah. What if they get to the point though, like where gay people now are like somewhat accepted even by like conservatives, like at least like they don't give a shit. I mean,
even if it doesn't exist. So you got to blame everything on woke or DEI or trans people or immigrants or whatever, so it's
like what if it gets to the point like where trans people just aren't seen as like these like weird scary people, so then you're going to start seeing like trans Republicans. I'm just letting you know that's what's going to happen, like because anytime a group of people gets like,
it'll happen because throughout history you always have to create that other, and the other never stays the same. It's like you have it's like Jewish people, it's like black people, it's Muslims, it's this, it's that, like, whatever, eventually it'll be like, guys named Mike who live in Ohio. Those are all the bad people. I'm just saying, you just got to create an other. It doesn't matter what the other is.
No, yeah, exactly. And like each community, then they get a marginal sense of acceptance, so that they then join the majority, or at least so like Italians, for example, like there was a time, there's a really old article, like the 1800s. It was talking about, and I think in Texas, people were persecuting like the, I guess, very minority Italian population of Texas, but whatever. But they said the article was something like what are these white people doing to Italians? And so even at that point, the writer of this article, who was Italian, didn't view themselves as white. They were talking about the white people hurting the Italians. But now Italians are considered white. Like, right.
Oh yeah, I mean, Italians considered white. Even Irish people weren't considered white at one time. So it's just like, and you can't get more white than Irish. So, in my opinion,
German swarthy people. Benjamin Franklin referred to Germans as swarthy.
It's just funny that you could think of a world where, like, when I think of the most like Irish American person, I'm picturing like Conan O'Brien or something. To picture him as not being white is really weird to me. So yeah, exactly.
It's it's not just about skin color, because like there was a Japanese person who was trying to, they were going to deport, I think it was a woman, they were going to deport her back to Japan. This is like the early 1900s, I think, because whatever, because I guess the new laws said that they couldn't live there or whatever. And her argument was, well, I'm very fair skinned. I'm very white. I mean, my skin is even whiter than some of the people on this court. And their argument was like, yeah, it doesn't really matter. Like every time someone hits them with an argument, they're like, well, they'll just rework the argument.
It's like, just be like Captain America, people, and don't create an other. Take care of everybody, unless the other is the Red Skull. And then,
well, you can still take care of him, just like in a jail cell or something,
Yeah, and you know what? I mean, pretty much though, the whole thing is you watch this movie, and it does teach you one thing that we should all know of all times: is fascism is bad. So,
well, we used to know that, but now, some people aren't so sure. Yeah.
No, I'm just saying that the general people that listen to our show and that have good minds know that fascism is bad. Yeah. Even when you're living through it, and remember it. Fascism is bad, and look for the helpers, as Mr. Rogers said. Yes, I don't know. I'm just trying. I'm kind of rambling here now, so maybe we should wrap things up.
Fine, yeah.
So just remember that you should check out our website, all2real2.com. You can find all of our links there to our Patreon, to our TeePublic, and other things, and our social media, whatever we're still allowed to have in this country. And we're on Blue Sky, we're on Facebook, we're on TikTok if it's around anymore. It probably isn't when you're listening to this. Yeah. So there you go. Anyways, just remember that I love you. I need to pull over because I think I'm going to be sick. Sesame loves you. Fight the Christo-fascist patriarchy. Trans lives are human lives. Black lives matter. Free Palestine. And until next time, bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to All Too Real 2 podcast, a Cullen Park production. Produced and edited by Michael E. Cullen II. Music by Matthew Hawes. Subscribe and share the show. Visit us at cullenpark.com.
Hey, it's Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. Now, I was looking for fun ways to tell you that Mint's offer of unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month is back. So I thought it would be fun if we made $15 bills. But it turns out that's very illegal. So there goes my big idea for the commercial. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan required. $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigabytes may slow when network is busy. See terms.
At ZocDoc, we know being a healthy adult is like living in a video game. Every day has side quests, taxes, laundry, birthdays, and just when you're leveling up, you have to book a doctor. The insurance portal crashes, they put you on hold, your doctor doesn't take your plan, game over. We see you, so we made booking a doctor easy. Download ZocDoc, search by specialty, insurance, and availability. Book instantly, no cheat codes required. Find a doctor you love with ZocDoc.
To kids, summer isn't just time off. It's time spent building confidence and curiosity. But when school meals pause, millions of kids lose access to the food they count on during the school year. As a neighbor-led network, Feeding America is deeply rooted in every community, ensuring summer meals continue nourishing growth and potential. Your support puts healthy food within reach, fueling the future for kids and their families. Give now at feedingamerica.org/summerhunger.